This is a story called Tom and Edgar's Love Story. It's the year 1913 and Edgar is a young 18-year-old man who is about to become a dad for the first time. As soon as the pregnancy was announced, Edgar and his girlfriend Esther were forced to get married because it's illegal to have a baby out of wedlock. They were married on the 25th of May 1913, and exactly a month later baby Eliza Esther was born on the 25th of June 1913. However, despite this, when World War I broke out the following year, he signed up to fight for his country, which he was desperate to do. After he'd been at war for about 6 months, he was sent to Manchester to fight. After he'd been there for 2 weeks, him and his friends decided to go to a club one night. During the time they were there, they met a young girl called Emily. They tossed a coin to see who was going home with her, and Edgar won. They went home together, and after that night they met up on a regular basis. Every time they met up, Edgar was the perfect gentleman. He would pull out a chair for Emily and push it in once she was sat down. He'd constantly wine and dine her and shower her with gifts, flowers and her favourite chocolate. However, Edgar knew straight away that he was really madly in love with Emily, and after he'd been seeing her for 2 months, he declared his love for her and he said, "Oh, Emily, I have to tell you something. If you're about to tell me that you're married to a woman called Esther and you have a daughter together, don't bother because I already know." "How did you know, Emily?" "Your friend Tom told me that first night we met." "Why didn't you say anything?" "I didn't think that it was any of my business. To be honest, I didn't think we'd see each other again. That's why I didn't say anything." "Oh, Emily, I love you more than I've ever loved anyone. I have since the very first night we met." "I know, Edgar, I love you too. But what about Esther? Me and Esther have never loved each other in the way we love each other. We never have. We were forced to get married by her parents so that our daughter wouldn't be born out of wedlock." "Are you going to tell Esther about us?" "Yes, of course. I have 2 weeks leave coming up and I will be going home, so I'll tell her then." "Oh, she's going to be heartbroken, Edgar." "I think she'll be hurt, but to be honest, I don't think she'll be heartbroken. We're really close friends, more than we are husband and wife. We only slept together once, and that was the night our daughter was conceived. We've been seeing each other for 2 months, but that was the only time we slept together. I'd like you to come with me so we can tell her together." "I'd like that, Edgar, but won't that add insult to injury?" "No, Esther's lovely and she doesn't hold grudges against people." During the 2-week leave, Edgar went to see Esther along with Emily. When they got there, Emily and Esther ran into each other's arms and Edgar said, "Hey up, what's going on here then? I didn't know that you two knew each other." "Hey, hang on, is this why you weren't trying not to laugh the whole time we were talking about telling Esther about us?" "Yeah, I'm sorry, Edgar. We've been best friends since we were babies. Our parents are best friends. So you knew about us all along, Esther?" "Yes, I did. I'm sorry. I have something to tell you too. I've met another man and we want to get married, but we can't until me and you are divorced." "Yeah, the same goes for me and Emily." Then Esther's new man came out and Edgar said, "I don't bloody believe it. Out of all the the men you could have chosen, you had to choose Tom. I take it you two know each other then. Yeah, Esther, we're in the same regiment together. They all laughed and then Emily and Esther made lunch for everyone while Edgar played with little Eliza. When they went inside, Edgar asked Emily, "How come you were in Manchester, Emily?" "My mum's from Manchester and she moved to Leeds to be with my dad, my grandparents and my mum's sister, Auntie Mary, and her family, and my mum's brothers, Uncle Charles and Uncle Jimmy, still live there and I was visiting them. They all spent a blissful 2 weeks together. Then it was time for the men to go back to the army to fight in the war. When they got to their barracks, they were told that they were being posted to America and that they'd be there until they were told otherwise. Of course, they didn't want to go, but they had no choice. Throughout their time there, they sent letters home to Esther, Emily and their families. Then one day the letters stopped coming and Paul from the post office received 2 telegrams to give to Esther and Emily. They said that both Edgar and Tom were missing and presumed dead because the plane they were on had been shot down and they didn't think there was any survivors. As you can imagine, Esther and Emily were devastated, but they had no choice but to keep going and to get on with their lives, as Emily had just given birth to twin girls, Elsie and Elizabeth. No one knew whether Edgar and Tom were alive or dead. Then one day, about 6 months after Esther and Emily received the news that they were missing and presumed dead, they got another telegram. This one was to inform them that their men were alive and well, but they were prisoners of war in China. The girls were delighted that the men were alive and well, but they were terrified that they wouldn't come out of the prisoner of war camp alive. However, after they'd been in there for 6 months, they finally managed to escape by digging an underground tunnel whenever they could. They managed to get the ship back to America, and when they got there, they went back to the barracks they were staying in there. They were given 4 weeks' leave and they didn't want to send a telegram home. They wanted to surprise Esther and Emily. When they got home and Emily and Esther saw them, they were overcome with tears of relief. Both men were so happy to be home and they were even happier to discover that both Emily and Esther had given birth. Emily had a daughter called Erin and she was born 2 weeks after Esther's twins, Elsie and Elizabeth. During the time the men were home, they all finally got married and they had a double ceremony, as that's what they all wanted. Unfortunately, the men's leave was up in no time at all, and they went back to fight in the war. After they'd been back for 2 weeks, they were sent to Japan. However, by this time it was the year 1918, and the war was finally over with. Both men were now able to go home on a permanent basis, and when they got there, they discovered that this time they both had a son. Esther had given birth to baby George and Emily had a son called Charles. Over time, Emily gave birth to 8 kids altogether, 5 girls and 3 boys, Erin, Charles, Lucy, Lily, Carl, Adam, Alice and Mary. Esther gave birth to 11 kids, 6 boys and 5 girls. Eliza, Louise, Lacey, Paul, Mark, Philip, Alan, Kenneth, Sarah and June. Esther and Tom now have 25 grandkids, 18 grandkids, 14 great grandkids and 10 great-great-great-grandkids. Emily and Edgar now have 30 grandkids, 28 great-grandkids, 30 great-great-grandkids, and 15 great-great-great-grandkids. Believe it or not, both couples are still alive. They are the grand old age of 128 years old. They still live in the same houses that they lived in before they got married. Their kids and grandkids are all still alive, and they all live locally. They are as madly in love with each other now as they were when they first met, literally well over 100 years ago. The men still constantly wine and dine Emily and Esther. They still pull out their chairs for them and once they sit down, they still have to pull out their chairs for them, and once they sit down, and push them in once they sit down. They all hope to live many, many more years together with each other and with their families. The end. Hope you like it, guys. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, please feel free to like, share, comment and subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, please feel free to like, share, comment and to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Love yous. Bye.